very shrill there at the end. Texas and in a smile. Woo. That's the noise I make when I go over a humpback bridge at 60, 70 miles an hour. Lovely. She was one of the most glamorous women of all time, and if you were at Cromer the other day, you might have done one of those double takes as Marilyn took to the beach to recreate one of her most iconic shoots. It's for Coast, the Cromer and Sheringham Art and Literary Festival. Marilyn Monroe from the video joins us in the studio along with Gary Allen, the Cockney bard who wrote a poem which features in the film. Both of you, how are you?
Very good, thank you.
Hi, Stephen. Hi there.
Oh, do you know,
It's so good to be here this afternoon.
Do you know what? Gary, I hope you didn't feel out of place there when I was being kissed by Marilyn Monroe. Who'd have thought? Both of you, how are you?
Very good, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Excellent, excellent. I must just describe the look, Marilyn. Do I call you Marilyn or Shona? Where do you want to go?
You can call me Shona, that's
Shona.
fine.
I was wondering. The look is just amazing. I think it's just like the skin tone, that purity that we all know Marilyn Monroe for.
Yeah.
And just how the hair stays in place without looking like it's been chiselled out of plastic or wood.
Yeah, lots of hairspray.
Yeah, but it's still got that flow to it. And the tell me about the earrings.
Oh, the earrings, they are actually vintage earrings. These were my mum's from the 60s, so, that was quite nice to get those.
And the dress.
The dress is actually by a company called Stop Staring, and they specialise in sort of Marilyn and pin-up and vintage clothing, and they sort of have a really great vintage feel, so they're fantastic.
It all was wonderful. Tell me a bit about yourself, Gary. And,
well, I'm a poet, philosopher and author, and basically we were coming up to Marilyn Monroe's 50th anniversary of her death, and I said to my wife, I really want to write a poem or something. And so basically I got inspired and I wrote the poem, and a couple of minutes I was really inspired, and there it was. And I read it to my wife and I said, you've got to read it, but read it as Marilyn, which is what she did. And it was absolutely fantastic, and I said, why don't we put it to film? And we met a guy called Paul Watson, and he suggested that we do the George Barris shoot, the Santa Monica shoot. Which
was actually the last shoot that Marilyn did, professional shoot, was with George Barris just before she died.
I know she was on a lot of medication for mental health issues, and there were the uppers and the downers. So she was all over the place like a yo-yo. And of course, I suppose when you sign a contract, the pressure's on to perform, isn't it?
Well, it is, but I also think, you do hear a lot of stuff about, she was on uppers and downers, but I also think she was in a pretty good space at the time, because she was one of the first actresses to actually have a say in her scripts and in her films. Now, many of the Hollywood actresses didn't in those days. They just had to basically do as they were told. So it was kind of girl power, I think, at the time, wasn't it, for her?
A lot of conspiracy theories about how the death. We know a lot of the circumstances and a lot of the issues. Your theories? What do you think happened leading up to it?
We personally think that Marilyn was murdered. That's our personal opinion. We believe that. We don't believe it was a suicide, because we think that. As Shona said, we think that although she did have problems with depression, she was, she had a lot of plans, didn't she? So
she did, and she actually did speak to George Barris beforehand. I think she spoke to him on the Friday before she died, and she was actually she was doing a book with him, and she actually did say to him, she said, "I've got so much to look forward to in my future."
Yeah.
So
and she bought a lot of furniture, didn't she?
She did. She bought a lot of furniture to refurnish her villa.
Well, that's a sign that somebody isn't thinking about killing themselves.
So, yeah. I think the trouble was, I think Marilyn, she probably mixed with the wrong people. She knew too much, and
yes, that's another theory, isn't it?
Yes, I think so.
A bit of a loose cannon. I think that was probably the issue for her.
I think politically it was, politically she did get involved with the wrong people. She knew too much, I think, and sadly that's a consequence of knowing too much. So we could be wrong.
Could be wrong. So there we are, walking along in Cromer, minding your own business. Suddenly there's Marilyn Monroe doing a photo shoot. What sort of reaction did you get?
Well, there was only about 2 people on the beach at the time. One guy was walking his dog, and he kind of looked a bit quizzically.
It was it's a bit of a shock when she walks down the high street and that, and people do look at her, and she gets lots of comments about how she looks like Marilyn, and and she really, the idea of it is she's a tribute artist, and she's not trying to be a replica. She's doing it as a tribute to Marilyn.
That's my philosophy on it, because we both love Marilyn, big fans of Marilyn, and I think the tribute artist is a better way of putting it, rather than trying to be a carbon copy, because there is only ever one Marilyn.
But there was that sort of look that particularly American women tried to achieve and stick with it. I mean, you can even tell. I've been watching. I bought myself the old Dick Van Dyke Show box set, and Dick Van Dyke, handsome young man, Mary Tyler Moore, good-looking,
incredibly glamorous.
But she had that sort of hair, but she had the darker hair. But that look, the dresses, the poise, and even just you might laugh, even Betty Rubble from the Flintstones.
That's right. No, that's absolutely correct. I think that's the thing.
True or true?
Oh, absolutely. I think that's the thing with Shona, is that she's absolutely a 40s, 50s pin-up. Yeah. Absolutely, without foul.
Well, but didn't everybody look so glamorous in those days? The men looked fantastic, didn't they? Had really sharp suits and things, and the women looked amazing.
Always well turned out, weren't they?
Yeah, it's glamour, isn't it? And I think it's nice to make an effort, definitely.
Yeah, you look amazing, she does. I mean, I know I'm her husband there, but she does look amazing, and as a 40s, 50s pin-up girl, she carries it off so beautifully. Yeah.
I'm afraid, we were talking about looking glamorous and well turned out. Here's me sitting in my cut-down shorts with an old T-shirt I've had for 15 years.
Oh, gee, it's a good look for radio, Stephen.
Yeah, I suppose so. There's only a few of us who can pull off this look, darling. Only a few of us. How do you feel then, Gary, when you two are walking along? I mean, Shona's like dressed up.
Well, she gets lots of attention, and I mean, but I don't mind that. I don't get the jealous husband syndrome and nothing like that. I'm really proud, So it's nice. It's nice to feel proud, and she's a really nice person as to so that's great.
Right, screen idols, past, present, future. Who do you think is up and coming? Who do you think that we could look forward to in the future as big screen stars? Any ideas?
Ooh, that's a tough one, isn't it?
I don't know, it's a bit of a difficult one, because I think that the old Hollywood stars, they very definitely had something about them, and I'm not totally sure that
gone, isn't it?
Nowadays they really have that.
I don't think they'll ever get back to the 50s and the 40s. I mean, that was fabulous time,
I think, acting-wise, there are some amazing actors and actresses about, though, definitely. I mean, I love, I can't remember his name, the guy that was in the Tudors. What was his name?
Oh, don't ask me. I'm in a senior moment. My whole life is a senior moment.
Irish guy.
Oh, I know.
I can't remember his name, I'm so sorry.
With a spoon, is it? Something? No.
Can you remember? Who was it?
I can't remember.
No, we can't remember.
No.
It's unimportant. It's unimportant in the scheme of things.
When I get upset.
All right, but I think back when
Jonathan Rhys-Meyers.
She's got it. She's got it
for 10 points. Is the right answer. But I think when we look back at that period that we're talking about, the Marilyn Monroe period,
Taylor
exactly. Hollywood still had a mystique about it, sort of magic about it.
They were iconic stars, weren't they? I mean, I think wherever they went, there was a scramble, wasn't there, of photographers and people, and I'm not so sure that there is that much kind of thing nowadays. I think there's a lot of stars.
I don't think they could recreate it now. I don't think so, and I think that. We're at a period, I think, that mundane is accepted as being good or great, and it's so sad. That's my honest opinion. I think that people get put up on celebrity status and called stars, and they haven't got
anything to qualify it.
No,
and it's not really their fault, is it? It's how they're
driven by publicity, by agents, and just put on a pedestal, and they're made to be something. And really, there's what price is talent? That's the point. If you're talented, and you deserve to be there, that's fine. But I think if you've got no talent, and then you're put up there, and you're exposed by the media as being someone who's, fantastic, and you're not really, it shows, doesn't it?
It does. But what would you say to Marilyn Monroe if you had like 10 minutes with Marilyn Monroe? one day she, just, I don't know.
I don't think 10 minutes would be enough, Stephen,
No,
to be honest.
no.
I mean, there'd be so much to talk about.
It would be wonderful to talk to her, wouldn't it? It would be wonderful to get sort of inside her head. I mean, she was really clever. This is what people seem to misunderstand.
Forget that, yeah.
She was brighter than Einstein. She had an IQ higher than Einstein. So
allegedly she did.
Allegedly, yeah. So and I that's what I say. I really was when I wrote the piece for her. I was really proud of that, and I don't know whether Shona's got time to read it, or if you want to.
How long is it?
It's 2 minutes.
Oh gosh, that would be great. Yeah. Please let's hear it. Let's hear it.
I have to.
Oh, you've got it in your glittery handbag.
In a glitzy handbag.
Yeah, you see.
Diamonds handbag.
And then what we'll actually mention diamonds, and then what we'll do, we'll have that. We'll have the travel news, and then I'll play Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend, Marilyn Monroe, and it's just wonderful how the show dovetails together, isn't it? Take it away, Shona. Thank you.
Okay, it's called A Letter to Marilyn Monroe by Gary Allen. Who could have ever dreamed of the life you would have? A babe to a beauty, unknown to an idol. Who truly knew you, the Hollywood star? Who could have loved you more than the millions now? I think I kind of knew you, somewhere in my distant past. A girl with a head full of dreams. Where love deserted you, hope never did. Where pain tortured and wrecked you, hope never did. Where too many judged you without care or remorse. Marilyn Monroe, we knew only a shadow of what you were. Tears wore like a mask, where only your smile could deceive. I think that I love you now. I think I loved you then. Love, sweet Marilyn, that was you. You were so funny and bright too. Not at all dizzy. Oh no, not you. Beauty personified, man's perfect dream. No one could doubt you were a star in all scenes. All that we're left with is all that you were. Love, beauty, and a star in an uncaring world.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Isn't that congratulations on some
Thank you very much.
wonderful words there.
Yeah,
Thanks.
you.
And beautifully read. It reminded me, so when you were sort of midway through that, the Happy Birthday to You, Mr. President song. Do you remember?
Is it your birthday, Steve?
No, it's not mine. No, get out of town. No. But 29th of October, if you want to write it down. But I remember just that, because it was, in a way, it was very sweet what she did, but in a way, that when she was singing that song in front of the press, it was
I think it was
how uncomfortable was that?
Yeah, I think it was just,
it's quite suggestive.
I think that was the thing. I knew when I wrote that piece, I knew that Shona would read it, and I knew that it would be superb. And I thought, if we can just get the film to go with it, and the George Barris shoot with the Santa Monica idea was brilliant. And when we put it all together for the Coast Festival, which is actually in October, it just worked superb, and very, very proud of it. Yeah, I'm very proud of.
So that's where we can see and hear all this.
Yeah, that's where you can see the film.
And it's on YouTube too. So
yeah,
if
it's
you'd
on
like
YouTube.
To
yeah, there's quite a bit of stuff on YouTube, isn't there? Some of the poems. I've written a poem called The Poppy, and some other works.
The poppy is that for the area, like the poppy fields of North Norfolk, or is it World War?
I've written a
First
few
World War?
war poems, so. Basically, and we put them to film, and an ode to Shakespeare, because I have a great interest in Shakespeare. So
when did that start, by the way?
Well, the
Shakespeare.
That's been quite a long time now. But I'm interested in Shakespeare and the authorship question. And I've got a very strong feeling, and it might come as a bit of a surprise, that Sir Francis Bacon, we believe that he is buried in Norwich and not in St Albans. And we believe that he's buried in St Gregory's, and we have good reason to believe that. And an expert on Sir Francis Bacon, he actually thought that was a wonderful find. So, look out for this, because I think there might be something in the future about that.
Hold tight, we're going to have Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend in just a moment. Next, so the very latest on the roads.
It was a decent start to the season for Norwich City.
The rebound from Whittaker is in there! Barkley shoots from the edge of the area. What a goal that is! It's Ross Barkley at the Barkley end of Carrow Road. John Ruddy with a brilliant save, but the rebound is going to be in, and Everton leads. But Wolfswinkel's header! Debut goal from the Wolf! 2-2 at Carrow Road!
So with a point under their belts, the Canaries head to Hull. Join us on Saturday for all the build-up from 2 and live match commentary from 3. Follow Norwich City with BBC Radio Norfolk. You're part of the BBC.
BBC Radio Norfolk Travel.
So let's have a look at the roads, and here's Adam with the latest at 26 minutes past 3. Hello.
afternoon. Some short delays on the A11, heavy traffic between the London Road at Thetford and Milton Hall Road at Barton Mills. That's, of course, the roadworks section, so it's not a massive surprise that it is looking quite slow. Chapelfield Road in Norwich reports that there's been traffic light failure on the A147 between Convent Road and the St Stephen's Road junction. We're hearing that the lights at the pedestrian crossing outside the Chapelfield shopping centre are not working properly at the minute. The A47 delays near Honningham look to have eased off a bit and was quite busy earlier because of roadworks between Taverham Road and Church Lane. Trains running OK. If you spot a problem, though, call us 0500 827 362. This is Adam Glynn with more in half an hour.
Well, you're a lovely man. Thank you very much. So, we're going to say goodbye to Marilyn Monroe now. Or Shona. Shona, you look...
Richie, thank you very much, Stephen.
Look immaculate.
So good to be on here.
Immaculate. So, how long are you going to stay like that today? Will you go and change now? Or do you
no,
want...
I stay like this all day.
How do you?
Yeah.
Can I just see your nails, fellow? Beautiful. Very nice. Immaculate. And the sparkly handbag.
Well, you know what she said, don't you?
What's that?
She said, it's not true I had nothing on. Why, I had the radio on.
Oh, now I'm blushing. Gary Allen, thank you.
Thank you very much.
I think we've just scratched the surface again there.
Oh, definitely.
I think we need to get you back in.
Oh, that would be fantastic.
That would be lovely.
And chat more and more and more. Fantastic.
Yeah, that would be fantastic.
If you're a fan of Marilyn Monroe, you'll love this. Here we go.
The French are glad to die for love. They delight in fighting duels. But I prefer a man who lives and gives expensive jewels. A kiss on the hand may be quite continental, but diamonds are a girl's best friend. A kiss may be grand, but it won't pay the rental on your humble flat, or help you at the automat. Men grow cold as girls grow old, and we all lose our charms in the end. But square cut or pear shape, these rocks don't lose their shape. Diamonds are a girl's best friend. Tiffany's, Cartier, Black Star, Ross Gore. Talk to me, Harry Winston, tell me all about it. There may come a time when a lass needs a lawyer, but diamonds are a girl's best friend. There may come a time when a hard-boiled employer thinks you're awful nice, but get that ice or else no dice. He's your guy when stocks are high, but beware when they start to descend. It's then that those louses go back to their spouses. Diamonds are a girl's best friend. I've heard of affairs that are strictly platonic, but diamonds are a girl's best friend. And I think affairs that you must give Masonic are better bets. If little pets get big baguettes, time rolls on, and youth is gone, and you can't straighten up when you bend. But stiff back or stiff knees, you stand straight as Tiffany's. Diamonds, diamonds. I don't mean rhinestones, but diamonds are a girl's best friend.
Yeah, we've just had Marilyn Monroe in the studio. And I got another kiss and a hug before she left. How about that? Thanks very much to Shona and to Gary for bringing all that alive for us here at BBC Radio Norfolk. If you're a